Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tinkus Show 2019 first episode. We have a brand new format for you. I hope you had a very merry Who Gives a Fuck Day and a happy Get Shit-Faced Night. Happy 2019, everybody. Who am I kidding? I've never been happy a day in my life, man. I'm freaking dead. I'm dead inside, man. Well, enough about me. It's gonna be a new shitty year. And it's the first show of 2019. Sorry, it's a little bit late. I don't know how you spent your New Year's Eve. But I played video games and watched YouTube videos till 3 in the morning with a good friend of mine. And to me, that was a lot better than going to a bar and getting drunk with a bunch of fucking shit-faced asshole 21-year-olds. Sorry if you're a 21-year-old. What did you do for your New Year's Eve? Leave your comments below. Alright, New Year's Eve news. This is a good one. So I have this video of a couple apparently having sex on live television. Yes. New Year's Eve, Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
People are partying, and trust me, the excitement isn't going to stop anytime soon because coming up, Florida Georgia Line is going to be performing two of their biggest hits. Ryan, back to you.
To me, it's kind of obvious what was going on there. I mean, for the first couple seconds, you're like, maybe they're just dancing around. But when she started gripping that rail pole, and he just thrusted it in, and you saw her, like, the eyeball roll back in her head a little bit. And then she reached her arm around the back of his head like she couldn't turn around because there was a dick in her pussy. There, I said it. That was beautiful footage. What do you guys think? Were they just dancing? Looked a little suspicious to me. God bless America. And I know that nobody cares about this, but I'm sure you probably heard already. Ninja tried to get the people at Times Square to do the floss dance. Like some Fortnite dance.
If you guys have all flossed before,
Real simple.
I mean, like with your teeth, I mean, you're just going in, out, in, out, in. I mean, it's just it. That's it. So we're going to try to get 1 million people right now to dance in Times Square. Everyone floss, let's get it. Come on, baby. Show me what you got. Show me what, just move. If you guys know it, just move. It's all I want to see, some movement. I'm not seeing enough movement. Oh, my God. This is not that big.
And nobody did it. How embarrassing. Anyway, I'm so sick of this Call of Duty game. I've been playing nothing but Blackout. And it's just so terrible. So sick of it. But I'm really looking forward to this new game. I know it kind of has a dumb name, but it's called Not My Car. Hold on. It's a battle royale game, but it's like a Twisted Metal style. It's also free to play, but it's not released yet. I mean, I think you can play like the trial. If you go to the website, I think you can beta, whatever they call them nowadays. I have no idea what that means, but there's some sort of test version that's available out there. I'd suggest giving that a try. I can't wait for the full release, or at least the release on Steam. Twisted Metal Battle Royale. I've always dreamed of this, man. Sounds amazing. Anyway, you'll never believe what movie I watched. Bird Box. Yeah, that hyped up Netflix movie with 45 million views or whatever spawned off a bunch of these blindfolded Bird Box challenge videos on YouTube. So stupid. But anyway, the movie itself, what did I think, you ask? Yeah, I thought it was pretty okay. Pretty typical, decent movie, really. Certainly not anything to be hyped up about, but if you look at the reviews, it was like 66% on Rotten Tomatoes or something. I mean, the reviews really weren't that amazing. So, I would even give it higher than that. Just because of John Malkovich in the movie, which kind of carried the whole middle of the movie, majority of it, in other words. He hated all the other characters so much. Man, and so did I, because they were so useless and so dumb, and had absolutely nothing to do with the plot at all. They just felt like they needed to throw a bunch of characters in there. I'm not a movie snob. I'm not going to get into it, and I'm not going to give you spoilers here, in case you're one of the very few people who haven't seen that movie yet. The only thing that kind of ruined it for me was the supernatural element. I'm really not big into the whole supernatural crap in movies, man. That and like the plot was basically like M. Night Ding Dong, whatever the hell his name is. You know what I mean? M. Night, Sixth Sense guy. He did a movie called The Happening. It's kind of like doing a version of that movie, but far better. You know, because that movie is terrible, so it's a compliment. And it does remind me a lot of perhaps a Stephen King style movie, but Stephen King would have drugged the movie out to be like 6 hours long, would have had at least some real character development, stuff would have related, and it would have been a little bit, well, it would have been a lot better that way. But Stephen King probably would have had like the stupid monster show up at the end and kind of ruin the whole thing. So yeah, like this monster, whatever, it's invisible. I didn't really get it. It was like whenever the leaves blew. You know, if you discount the fact that it had these supernatural elements, it was actually a really great movie, very enjoyable, and I would actually recommend it. But what would I really recommend on Netflix, you ask? Oh boy, I'm glad you asked. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. It's a Coen Brothers film. It involves 6 short stories set in the Old West. Yeah, I know, the Old West. Oh well, get over it. It kind of reminds me of a combination of A Million Ways to Die without the crazy weird humor and A Hateful Eight. You know, and that's a pretty good combination. You know? It was a very weird, very good, and, you know, if you look it up, the ratings are pretty damn good. I love short stories, and it really chugs the movie along, clocking in a little over 2 hours, so it was great. I highly recommend The Ballad of Buster Scruggs on Netflix. Anyway, 2018, what do you think? Kind of a shitty year? Yeah. Anyway, whatever you think. 2019 is just going to be a, you know, whatever year as well, probably. I'm predicting, you know, government shutdown or something like that, and who really gives a shit? I mean, everything's still operating where I'm at. I'm still getting my bills in the mail. I predict this year basically just getting a little bit worse. A little bit more PC, more nonsense, more SJW bullshit, dumb stuff like that, you know. A perfect example of that is the new Louis C.K. drama. And no, he wasn't consensually masturbating in front of a woman again. He was doing stand-up comedy. Whoa! No way! Like, thank you, Louis. I missed you. So what's wrong with that, you ask? He masturbated in front of women, consensually, with their permission. Yeah, very freaking weird and very creepy. But he's back. Shouldn't we be happy? Not according to Judd Apatow. You're not familiar with Judd Apatow? He brought us some great movies, like Knocked Up and Superbad. I love these movies. Superbad is a film about underage drinking, doing drugs, and teenage rape. Awesome, man! I actually had no problem with the movie. I thought it was awesome. But how did he get on this high horse all of a sudden? In response to the leaked bootleg Louis C.K. set that everybody's talking about in question here, Judd Apatow tweeted, "This hacky, unfunny, shallow routine is just a symptom of how people are afraid to feel empathy. It's much easier to laugh at our most vulnerable than look at their pain directly and show them love and concern. Louis C.K. is all fear and bitterness now. He can't look inward." Well, I don't know. Louis seems pretty vulnerable right now, and it seems like you're kicking a man when he's down. That's just me. I guess I should play a little clip of this, even though it's a bootleg set. I'll just play a quick little snippet so you know what I'm talking about here.
These kids are nuts, but they're not. They're they're just boring. Telling them you shouldn't say that. What are you, an old lady? What the are you doing? That's not appropriate. You're a child. Why aren't you finger each other and doing jello shots? Like, why aren't you? I don't know. They testify in front of Congress. These kids. Like, what the? What are you doing? You're young. You should be crazy. You should be unhinged. Not in a suit saying, "I'm here to tell you." You're not interesting. Because you went to a high school where kids got shot? Why does that mean I have to listen to you? How does that make you interesting? You didn't get shot. You pushed some fat kid in the way. And then now I gotta listen to you talking?
As you can tell, the audience loved it. Louis has always done offensive material. I don't want to break down all of his jokes, but the Parkland shooting joke just elevated his point that he doesn't give a shit what a young college kid has to say. You know what I'm saying? A college student that has never actually, truly experienced the real world. And also, it was a joke. You know, why pick on Louis? What about Chris Brown, who beat the shit out of Rihanna? And now he's out making Grammy records? He is forgiven and free to pursue his career. And Louis isn't? Are you kidding me? Basically a victimless crime. He whacked off in front of a couple girls. He's a creep. It's okay, man. He's a funny dude. Doesn't mean what he did was right, but come on. Beating the shit out of a woman is, I tell you, that ain't right. But that's actually what this is all about. It's not about his stand-up routine. Anyway, I hope Louis keeps it up. He has added a lot of joy into my life with his comedy. And I don't think this is really that well deserved. He took that time off. He lost $35 million, plus other potential deals. I mean, it's insane. He's a comedian. He loves comedy. I don't think he cares if he makes millions of dollars. He just wants to be a comedian. So he said, fuck it. I'm going to get up there. I'm going to get out. I'm going to do my thing again. And I am so glad. Well, I'm not going to keep rambling on about that, so let's move on to the next news. I found this hilarious video taken at a GameStop when this apparent woman is mistaken for a man. Oh boy, you're never going to believe this. How could that have possibly happened?
We're not doing credit. You're going to give me my fucking money back.
Excuse me, sir. There's a young man in here. And you watch him out.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like me to. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay? Ma'am, Once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was a general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
I need your corporate number. Because I'm going to call them and talk about how it's misgendered several times in this store.
I apologize for that.
I need your corporate number now.
I can get that for you. It's not a problem.
Get it for me now.
I can do that. I'm going to ask you to calm down and stop cussing.
Give me your
Stop
corporate
hitting
number.
bitch during property.
Well, I'm going to ask you for the 5th time to stop calling me a man. Because quite clearly I am not.
And I apologize. I'm sorry for that, ma'am. I will get you that number. Is that okay?
Yes, get it for me now.
I'm asking you to stop
Get it
cussing.
for me now. I'm not cussing. I'm not cussing.
Okay.
Get me the damn number now, please. Ooh!
Ma'am. Ma'am, I apologize.
Ooh!
I apologize, ma'am. I will get you that number right now.
No, you're just going to keep bumping your gums. You're just going to keep bumping your gums and disrespecting trans people in this store, which I plan on telling the entire LGBTQ community. You're going to lose money over this.
First off, when you look like that, you're gonna have to understand that some mistakes might be made. I mean, John Lithgow made a more convincing woman in, what was that movie? The World According to Garp? John Lithgow is far more attractive, I hate to say it. Secondly, the cashier couldn't see your slutty girl jeans from behind the counter, most likely. How's he supposed to know? Thirdly, everybody knows that women don't go to GameStop. I'm sorry. Lord, I apologize. And fourthly, that has to be the most ladylike behavior I have ever seen. Alright. Well, now that we got the laughs out of the way, we can move on to the deceased. Unfortunately, we've had a few deaths already in 2019. Mean Gene Okerlund. If you know, if you grew up in the 80s, 90s, you're going to know him because he was basically the face of the WWF, WCW, back in the Hulk Hogan days. He was the interviewer, and he added a lot to the so-called sport because of his professionalism, the way he was seriously trying to interview these people, and they were just so ridiculously bizarre and silly. It was ridiculous. But he kept a straight face. It added a lot to it, man. I'm not kidding you. I'm sure he got paid a lot because he was the voice of a generation to some extent. Unfortunately, he died due to I think he was 76 years old. Am I wrong? I didn't even look that part up. I should have wrote that down. But he suffered a fall, which apparently led to his death. He's had multiple kidney transplants, so... Sorry, Gene. Mean Gene. In our memories. Another great loss this year is Bob Einstein, also known as Super Dave Osborne. You'll probably know him best from Curb Your Enthusiasm, or you might even know him from the Super Dave Osborne show. That show was really old. I remember it from the 90s television, where he would just do these ridiculously cheesy stunts and have like an obvious dummy in the seat, like a cannonball would hit it, fly into the air. I do love him from Curb, though. I really love him in that show. And Bob Einstein died because of leukemia, most likely. He died shortly after being diagnosed. He will definitely be missed very much. If you haven't seen Curb, man, you're missing out. Makes me want to watch it now. Well, I hate to leave it on a sad note, but hopefully it was a happy remembrance. Bring you back. And I will be back with another great show very soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. And feel free to share the video. That would probably mean more than anything. But I want to get my sub count up. So let's make this happen. Every individual matters. That's how you can vote on YouTube. It's been fun, but I have to go now. Bye-bye! This has been a Tinkus production.